Today we're going to be talking about what to do as a new manager. You know, I saw a tweet the other day and the guy was like, oh, you'll be getting into these senior roles and you don't know what you're doing and then you're ruining everybody's life. And then, you know, the tweet under it said, have you ever prayed that God will give you something that you don't deserve? And the guy said, don't you think your bosses are also praying that same prayer? Like, yeah, they don't know what they're doing because, yeah, they got something they don't deserve. So if you are praying for something you don't deserve, who are you to talk about your boss and they're not doing well? However, I'm here to tell you and to help you navigate your new role as a manager.
Hi everyone, my name is Oroluwa Adekoya and I'd like to welcome you to Tiki Talk. Tiki Talks is that space where we talk about career, businesses, how to navigate the workplace and getting ahead with all the challenges that we see in today's world.
So yes, you just got that big role. Congratulations. You're probably earning big money. You know, maybe you got a car, you have benefits, you have higher leave days, and it feels good. Like, I'm a manager at work. You know that LinkedIn thing now, where you update your LinkedIn. I am happy to, everybody's always happy. I am happy to announce that I am as the business development manager for XYZ company, and then everybody is telling you congratulations, 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 and then you get your first salary, is a lot of money, and like, oh wow, I'm a manager, please put some respect on my name. But you really don't know what you're doing, right? It happens to the best of us, you know. So what is your role as a manager? Your role, I'll tell you first of all what it's not. Your role is not to dish out work to your team members. Your role is not just to divide work. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, and then you go and sleep. Your role is to delegate. Now, what does delegating mean? Delegating means that you're giving somebody a responsibility for a certain aspect of the work, and then you're guiding them through the process. The guiding them through the process has to do with the what and the why. Right? And so you tell them, this is what we're doing, this is what I want you to do, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I'm asking you to do this because we need to show this information, we need to ensure that we digitalize the process, we need to make it faster, we need to make it quicker, you know, we need to save money. The why is very important, not just the what. Right? And so that way you are training people up. You are bringing them up to your level. A lot of people are scared to say that, oh, I don't want this guy to take my job, you know, so I'm not going to show him the ropes about what I'm going to do. Hey, do you want to stay on that role forever? Of course not. So if you're worried about somebody taking your job, it means that you are not even adding value to yourself. You are not aspiring to go up and to do a job a level higher. You're thinking that, oh, I'll stay here forever and so I have to man and, you know, protect my own role. No, that's a wrong mindset and it's not a growth mindset. So you need to ensure that you're constantly doing what you can to move up, to move to another level. And to do that, you need to develop the people under you. Because imagine you go to your boss and say, oh, I deserve a promotion, I want to go to a higher position, I want to go to a new role. The next question that is most likely asked is, who will do your job? Have you people that are going to do your job? Have you brought them in to the ropes? Have you taken them into meetings that you have with all the high-profile people you have meetings to? Have you told them about the whys on why you do things the way that you do? If you have not, then I'm sorry. You are not ready to move into a new position, right? You're not ready to move into a new role until you have developed the people under you. A time when I went on leave, and some people think that, oh, if I'm not around, I can't make decisions and blah, 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 the whole company will crumble and blah, 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 you know. Of course, first of all, it starts with hiring and getting together a competent team, and you need to trust your team, trust that they will be able to deliver. So there was a time I went on leave, and I told my team, I said, I'm not reachable. Don't reach me except there's a fire, except something is burning down. Don't call me. Do what you have to do. And I was ready to deal with the consequences. I was ready to do. And I wrote it on my out of office. I said, I am currently on leave. And so is my laptop and my WhatsApp. Why? Because I knew that the work will go on. Right? I had a team, a competent team that, you know, that they could handle stuff. you know. And then I was still on the, of course, I was still on the group WhatsApp chat, and then I saw. No, not the WhatsApp chat, the Teams chat. So there was a meeting that they had, and then they were going back and forth, and then somebody said, it was interesting, someone said, what will Ore do? So they were asking themselves, like they were in a fix, and they didn't want to call me, but they started asking themselves, okay, if Ore was in this situation, what would they do? And the beautiful thing was they did exactly what I would have done. I was truly wowed. I was amazed. You know, I came back and it was like I never left. Guess what? That was the beginning of that was when I started getting old, so to speak, in that role. Why? Because I had already showed that I had trained people below me who could take decisions and who could handle the team in my absence. And so I was ready for my new role. And that was it, right? But if I hadn't taken time to train those people, to develop them, you know, to let them in on the whys and how, you know, why I'm doing something and how I do it and all that, then they will never grow. They will never learn. Again, your job is not to compete. Some managers are caught in the web of, you know, trying to show that I'm also working. I'm working. You're showing your team that, yes, you're not just there to sleep, you too. So because I'm working, you too, you must work. No, you must learn to delegate. Why? So that you have time for two things. You have time to strategize because you are there as a manager. You are there to manage the team and ensure that they deliver on their goals, right? Which also requires some strategic thinking. How can we do things better in this department? How can we do things faster? And so you need to free up yourself from operational stuff so that you can think strategically. The second thing is you need to be doing your boss's work. Yes, you need to be doing your boss needs to be able to delegate to you. So as you are pulling up the people under you, you are also aspiring to the level of your boss. Your boss, you need to earn the trust of your boss such that he or she can delegate his own work to you. And that's an ideal situation where there is constant growth in an organization. So people who come in are being trained into a higher level, and you also are moving up. And that's a training mentality, not a stuck in the rut mentality where you are manning your job. Okay, now that I've made manager, you know, there's nobody else that I want to train. I don't want to teach anybody. Fine, there might be instances where there is no job opportunity. Maybe you have the organizational structure, you know, is such that maybe the role after you is CEO, and maybe there are so many people vying for the CEO and all that. But hey, that doesn't mean that you should get stuck there. There are other organizations you can move to. The important and beautiful thing is training people, and that's the beauty of leadership, right? A manager is supposed to be a leader, but you find that not all managers are leaders. Some managers are just there to tick a box, to earn a salary, and to dish out work. But please ensure that that's not what you're doing. The second thing they're going to do is to manage your people. And that involves managing emotions. Being a manager involves a whole new level of emotional stability. Because guess what? You're going to have people calling you and say, oh, my dad just died. Oh, I just got into an accident, or I was robbed, or something happened to my sister and all that. And imagine, and this is somebody you have delegated to and has a deliverable the next day. How do you manage, okay, having empathy for the person, but yet showing that, oh, this work needs to be done. I need you to deliver this. And this is where that fine balance needs to be learned over time. Over time, we learn that balance because there are some times when you just say, okay, my people's well-being is more important to me than this task that I've given them. Oh, take the day off, take the week off, you know, sort yourself out, right? I will do it for you. And in that instance, it's very okay to take up the task that you have given them and then to handle it, right? It's very okay to delegate it among other members of the team. Like you share it among other members and say, okay, you do this because this person is currently unavailable. Sometimes your team members just need support, right? They're going through a difficult time. Some of them are going through something that may seem as trivial as a breakup, right? Or they might be going through a particular trauma. They might have lost a loved one and all that. You are supposed to be there for them. It's not just to be about work all the time, but you need to also be sure that you are there, you're that emotional pillar, and they can run to you. You know, people say that people don't leave organizations, they leave bosses. And why? They leave bosses because they've not developed a relationship with the boss, because the boss does not treat them well, because they just don't like the boss. And so they leave because of that boss. But you need to ensure that you are that boss that grooms and grows your people appropriately. The third thing is you also need to ensure that you make them shine. You help them to be seen. You help them to be seen. You're not just supposed to stifle their work and cover it and, be like, oh, yes, I achieved this, I achieved that. You're also supposed to push them to the front. I've been so fortunate in my career that I have always had bosses that, pushed me to the front. But unfortunately, yes, I'll be honest, the first time I got the opportunity to be a manager, I didn't handle it well, right? So my boss had gone on maternity leave, and then I was the one acting for my boss, and I was struggling so hard to prove that, oh yes, I can do this, I can keep it all together, I'm doing well, I know what to do and stuff. And then I realized that I was stifling my team member because, hey, I was not their boss. I was just acting, right? We all knew who our boss was, and so it now became a power game, okay, I'm the one who had the delegated authority because I'm standing in for her. But at the same time, this other guy had functional knowledge of a particular area and I didn't allow him shine because I knew that he was good. I knew he was good and that was something that I needed to learn. But I wanted to show that I am the manager. Yes, I know this thing. And so sometimes when they ask my opinion in meetings, instead of, deferring to him and say, okay, what do you think? Can you contribute on this? I would say something. I would say rubbish. I would say nonsense, and this guy will not even waste time. Just say, no, that is not correct. He will say it in the meeting in front of everyone, and I'm like, oh my God, can this guy shut up? Why? Because I was more interested I was being selfish. I wanted myself to shine. I wanted it to be like, oh yes, I'm doing a good job and I can do this. And, I didn't allow him shine. Eventually he left the organization and then we had a conversation and he said, see, Ore, you were stifling me, you were covering me, you doing, and of course this guy was very ambitious and I was aware. I was aware about it. He was somebody that was very aware of his strengths, very aware of his impact, and wanted his results to be shown, to be seen, and all that. And there's a way to actually manage as well as a manager, But I didn't want anybody to outshine me. I didn't want anybody to show that they are, better than me and all that. But guess what? He was good in that particular aspect that he was doing, right? What about the aspects of the role where I could add value? How about that? Why was I struggling with the one thing that he was in charge of? He wasn't in charge of everything. He was in charge of one thing. So I asked myself, hey, why didn't I just allow him to grow and to shine and to do all that? But I was just more interested in, let me show that I can do this thing and all that. And really that taught me a lesson. So as I evolved into when I eventually became the manager of the team, because again, having that delegated responsibility helped me to learn the ropes of, being the leader of that team and all that. And when my then boss left, of course, naturally, I was put into that position. But it helped me to understand that, okay, I need to allow people to shine. I need to showcase my people. Not every time you do the presentation, ask your people to go and do it, and then let them make their mistakes. But be there at the back, cheering them on. Never say, oh, no, this is not correct, that's not correct. You correct them behind the scenes, right? So you push them forward, support them. Okay, if you see that they are struggling, you can add on. There's a way you can add on a bit. To add on to what Esther said, this, just to bring a bit of perspective and all that, I'll just say, imagine a statement like, Esther has said everything. She has covered the main presentation. She has covered the key points. The key points she said are, and then as you mention those key points, you add on the one that she forgot. That's where you are still bringing her to the spotlight. You're still saying, she did this, she did this, she did this, she did that. And then you're just chipping in the one thing that you felt was also important that she didn't mention. And thereby you are helping her. There's a way you can actually do that support. Then behind the scenes, you tell her, okay, you should have done this, you should have done that, you shouldn't have done that, and all that. This is one thing I tell my team members, that we are one team. Outside the team, we should never criticize each other. Never. There was a meeting I was in, and then one of the team members came and said, but we should have thought about this. Immediately, I shut her down. And I sent a message to the group chat. I said, your colleague did something that was not right. What happened to chatting her up? Why did you have to say it in front of everybody that, oh, you did not do this, this, this? You don't do that. You don't do that. And more so, as a manager, you don't bring out your people's faults in public. You ensure that you correct them in private. You correct them in private, but you praise them in public. Highlight their achievements, highlight the things they do. Really, a good employee is a reflection of a good line manager. If an employee is so good and then, they have outgrown you and all that, eventually they will leave. But the fact that they are still there means that there is something that you are pouring into their life. There's a value that you are adding to them. And so they recognize this value. And so you, as well as your direct report, can be recognized in this area. And then finally, it is your job to bring discipline to the team. It's your job to bring direction to the team. You're not there to continue the status quo. Oh, they handed me this department like this. So what have you done with it? How have you moved it forward? How have you made it better? Or are you just a maintainer, right? Or are you just a manager? Literally, the word is manager. But ideally, you're supposed to bring a fresh vision to the team. You're supposed to bring a fresh direction, bring a new perspective, because you were not the manager before. So you do not have to align to the mindset of the previous manager. Yes, you can decide to understand why they did the things the way they did, but ultimately, your goal should be, how can I do things better? And establish your own method, establish your own style. It's okay. It's very okay. Now, a lot of people take it to the extreme by being mean and all that, but ensure that, oh, this is the way I do things. I do things in this way. I don't want to take this. When we attend meetings, for instance, recently I noticed that meetings were delayed. We'll join a meeting is at 10. Everyone will join at 10. We use 5 minutes to try and find where people are. And I said, no. If you organize a meeting in my team and the meeting is for 10, you as the organizer, you join 9:55. You join 9:55 and do your housekeeping. That's my style. That's what I want. And I made it clear to the team. That's what I want. That's how I do. That's how I thrive. It irks me when I see 10:05 and then it's just one of my pet peeves, right? And that's my style, and it's okay. So the team has to align with how I work. If not, you would realize that you have a very indisciplined team. You don't want to be a team. Yes, there's the danger of being liberal. Oh, I want to be a nice boss and all that. But you don't want to be a boss with a team that does not have discipline. Ensure that you correct, it's a natural tendency of human beings to want to take the pitch, just like a child. A child will test you, like, okay, is this boss real? Can I do things? Can I talk? Can I get away with it? Can I, do what I like and all that? But it's your job to ensure that there's discipline, there's strategy, and there's direction in the team. I hope you've learned a thing or two from today's episode. Until I catch you again next time, it's Oroluwa signing out.